And welcome back, everyone, to the Daily Aid. Back in the summer, the Mosaic Film Experience, a local nonprofit, held its Nourishing Narrative short film contest, actually. And the goal was to ask young filmmakers to explore the topic of food justice in their pieces, not just here in the state of Michigan, but really across the country. People were urged to actually submit a film, and the winners got the chance to head out to Los Angeles and tour Paramount Pictures, a really exciting opportunity. Two teens, Caleb Jesse and Daniel Ewer from City High Middle School here in Kent County, won for their film titled Apples. The two filmmakers were kind enough to talk about their piece and really the decision to join in on this competition. We also talked to Skot Welch. He is the founder of Mosaic, and he also provided some additional information on what Mosaic does and also a little bit more about that competition. Joining us now is Skot Welch. He is, of course, the founder and president of the Mosaic Film Experience. Skot, thank you so much for joining us today. We so do appreciate it.
No, it's great to be here. Thanks for having us on.
Of course, you know, we have sort of a big topic to discuss, that being two local young filmmakers actually winning a recent competition that you guys held. But I want to first off, before we get into that portion of the interview, I want to give you the time to explain a little bit about what the Mosaic Film Experience really is and what it's all about for people that maybe aren't familiar with your organization.
Sure. So the Mosaic Film Experience is actually a 14-year-old initiative that I literally started on a napkin. And the focus is to really help our young people build particularly two muscles, and that is the ability for storytelling and for problem solving. And we put that in kind of four categories: creativity, collaboration, critical thinking for career preparedness. And the goal is to allow young people to uh, express themselves based upon criteria of an annual event that Mosaic Film Experience has, whereby they have to create, edit, and submit a film that is 2 to 3 minutes long from their mobile device based upon a theme, a prop, and a saying that we have every single year. Students gather in Grand Rapids. They gather this year it's going to be November 6th at Celebration Cinema North. And the goal is whereby we introduce them to people from Hollywood that we bring in every single year. And then we have local heroes that provide workshops for them to learn everything from monetizing their mobile devices, how to do marketing, to enhance their social media in a way that actually can lead to careers. We even do financial literacy. We have people that do game design and virtual reality. So that's what we've been doing for the past 14 years.
Mm-hmm. And we hear it a lot, just talking about how kids that are involved in sort of these extracurriculars, these artistic sort of passions of theirs, the more they kind of develop them, the better they are in school. You know, they live on and maybe go after those dreams of maybe becoming a big filmmaker. And that is kind of what Mosaic is trying to do, I guess. You know, what makes filmmaking sort of the bread and butter, I guess, or really the perfect sort of way to get those kids to learn about something else and maybe develop those passions a little bit more.
Well, you know, I've my team always hears me say this. I'm not as interested in creating the next Spike Lee or Spielberg. What I am interested in is creating the next leader, the next problem solving solver, whether they work in education, whether they work in construction and game design, or if in fact they do become filmmakers. That's all great. And so that is why really the filmmaking is just a modality for them to exercise creative thinking, right? The left and right side of their brain. But really, when you really think about when film is done really well, when it's made really well, you have to traverse the landscape of science, of history, of lighting, of I mean, so many so many different disciplines, and so that's the gift that I believe for our students as it relates to filmmaking, that it keeps on giving. And so
Mm-hmm.
while one part is a mobile contest, right, mobile filmmaking contest, what they have to do to get to the point to submit the film piece that they're doing actually is the thing that translates into the marketplace in general. And so that's really why we do that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's shift now back over to that competition. You guys just had the Nourishing Narratives mobile film competition. We had two local filmmakers, two young local filmmakers in Daniel Ewer and Caleb Jesse, both 17 years old from Grand Rapids. They were actually named one of the 10 finalists. And Daniel was actually Caleb was actually able to go to LA and actually partake in all the festivities. For the competition in general, I mean, what was sort of the idea behind that one in particular? I mean, what were you tasking these filmmakers to kind of create?
Well, first of all, we have a wonderful collaboration with Newman's Own Foundation. And Newman's Own Foundation, of course, is wrapped around the legacy of Mr. Paul Newman, who would have celebrated his 100th birthday this year. And so it was an opportunity for the two organizations, Mosaic Film Experience and Newman's Own Foundation, to collaborate to say, let's talk about food justice. Let's talk about this large theme whereby we can actually captivate the attention of students from around the United States to again go through the rubric of Mosaic Film Experience, the theme, the prop, and the saying, right? So, of course, the theme was food justice. The prop was you had to show some type of food, whether fresh or even animated, and then the saying was tomorrow starts here. And so what we did is in collaboration with Newman's Own, is we actually threw it out to the entire United States. We said, here's the criteria and here's what you need to do. And then of course, it culminated in students from around the United States actually submitting their films, and the top 10. I know that eight were able to make it to Los Angeles, but we all were given the first place were given $1,000, and then plus one trip to Los Angeles, all expenses paid. And they were able to. We spent time at our advisory board. Actually, includes. We're so fortunate. The Motion Picture Academy Museum. So we had one of our advisors give us a private tour of the entire museum. Then we went to the Paramount Studios and backlot tours for the students. They also served us lunch there. And then we actually debuted the students' films in the same theater that the movie Forrest Gump was debuted. Then from there, we had a great dinner. And then we had some of our other friends and advisory members and even board members come and spend time at dinner with the students where they could just ask questions about the industry and what they do. And I mean, our board and our advisors work on some of the major films and major television series on all the networks today. And so they were able to sit down and just ask questions. And so with that, we were able to capture and really just grab the thoughts and the artistic ability of students from around the United States around food justice. I think there's something really important about having young people talk about how it affects them or how they view that particular topic. And in this case, it was food justice. And so the collaboration between Newman's Own and Mosaic Film Experience, we actually saw the power of it and how much it really, really worked and continues to work as we're looking at doing another one now because the first one worked so well.
Caleb and Daniel, thank you both so much for joining us today. We really do appreciate it. And first things first, just want to say congratulations on winning that competition and being part of the winners going to Los Angeles. I'm sure that was a really awesome moment for the two of you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
And what was sort of that first reaction when you guys first found out that your film Apples was selected by for the competition, I guess?
We were freaking out.
Yeah, it was.
We first found out we were in the semifinals, and we were pretty excited about that, or semifinalists. And then we found out around June 20th or so, and it was awesome. We were really excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and I mean, you guys are still relatively young. You guys are still in high school. I mean, how did you really get involved in making films and kind of the movie making process? It's not something you typically hear kids this young kind of getting into.
So we go to City High, which has an IB film program or IBDP film program, and we started out in that class, kind of learning how to operate cameras and use our phones to make the best film possible.
And your film Apples is the one in question with this competition. Talk to us a little bit about what Apples is really all about. How'd you guys came up with the idea for it? We don't want to give too much away. We want people to actually check it out for themselves, but for, tease it a little bit for us. That's part of the movie making process a little bit too.
So there were a bunch of parameters, or a couple parameters for the contest, because Mosaic likes to do their short film contests with a theme, a prop, and a phrase. And the theme for this one was food justice, and we thought about food waste. And so we decided that instead of following people as the main character of a film, we thought it'd be interesting to follow inanimate objects like fruit, apples, as the main characters, showing the various ways they get wasted, and then how that can turn back and change for good.
Mm-hmm. And was that something you guys kind of like, was that an idea that just jumped in your head as soon as you kind of got the prompt for the competition, or was there maybe a bit of a process of kind of deciding how you wanted to go about making this film for it?
We kind of just like that came up with a pretty good idea.
Yeah, we were thinking about what would we do for a movie like this when we heard about the contest, and we kind of just workshopped it over text, just figured it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it could sometimes just be as easy as that. And Caleb, you were actually lucky enough to go to LA and see all the extravagance around this competition. You got to see your film actually up on the big screen. I mean, what was that whole experience like being in Los Angeles?
It was insane. It was one of the most jam-packed, busiest weekends of my life, but also one of the most fun. It was so cool to see all the places we got to go to. We got to see it. We got a tour of the Academy Museum. We got a tour of Paramount Studios, and then we had the 10 winning films screened on their lot. And it's just something else to see something that you made on the big screen and hear the soundtrack that you made in stereo bouncing off the walls. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, definitely. And, with this film itself, obviously there was sort of a prompt in place, something to kind of get the wheels spinning in your minds. But now that the film has been completed and you guys have, been one of the lucky winners, part of the competition, I mean, what do you really hope was like the overall message that viewers kind of get from this film?
Yeah. Mainly just don't be a hypocrite and throw your apples away or any other food that you may get. And you want to take the other one?
The other thing I was going to say, the first one is that don't waste food. There's always something you can do with it that's better than just throwing it away. But also a message about like movie making itself is that you don't have to, this applies to all media, creating anything ever, is that you don't have to have expensive, fancy stuff to make good, literally award-winning stuff.
And Daniel and Caleb's film was titled Apples. What was it specifically about their own film that really caught your attention or really caught the board's attention and really wanted to invite them out to LA to participate in all the fun festivities associated with this competition?
Yeah, sure. Well, and two, I think it's important that the selection committee were around the United States. I mean, we had first, second, and third round judges. And so literally their film made it through 3 cuts. First of all, I'll say that. But the beauty of their piece was that they followed really the story focused on an apple and how initially one kid just kind of threw it away in terms of, hey, this apple, this is just an apple. It makes no difference, so it's just one apple. So the story followed the apple all the way through. And at the end of it, we see that as one friend explains to the other the power of what is in the apple, the seed, and that let's not be wasteful because it can actually help people and feed people. We see that the apple is connected to an orchard. And so we saw that, and again, it fulfilled all the elements that we required for Mosaic Film Experience and in our Nourishing Narratives initiative. And so it was, it made the cut, and it was great to actually meet Caleb and his dad in Los Angeles, and then for them to see it on this beautiful, beautiful stage in this hallowed theater, and then just to have it in front of all these, industry people and these food folks that are in large scale food initiatives to feed cities and to feed, just various communities around the United States. And so that really was what captured. I love the idea that the apple is equated to the orchard. Orchard, maybe an apple may not feed a village or a city, but an orchard sure can.
Absolutely. I'm sure it was an incredible, awesome experience. And I'm sure we're going to be talking to Caleb again a little bit later about that full experience. But Skot, before we let you go, there's obviously a lot you'd probably like to tell a lot of young filmmakers or local filmmakers all across the country, the smaller filmmakers trying to make it big or find, or, be able to make those pieces that really resonate with them. For anybody that maybe feels a little bit lost or they really don't know where to start, I mean, what would you tell them from your experience with Mosaic to get out there and actually put something together and maybe develop that passion a little bit further and maybe get that big break that maybe they're after?
First of all, I think, and I listen because I'm still a student as well. When I hear we have our friends coming from the West Coast that are doing these things at a major scale, and our local friends as well, I tell them, keep making film. Just keep trying. Because the more that you lean in and just try it, make mistakes. Perhaps the sound didn't work this time. Try it next time. And I hear our friends always say, just keep trying, just keep making film. It's okay to make mistakes, and publish it, right? Don't be afraid of publishing and getting feedback on it. And so I tell people too, the other part, particularly with our relationship with the Motion Picture Academy Museum, is literally any job that our young people can imagine. You can find it where someone's doing it in the film industry. I mean, if you like cooking, you can go to craft, which is catering. If you like finance, you can go in there because every film, every project has to have some type of financial model so that it can be successful. If you like directing, that's fine. If you like sound or construction, whatever that might be. And so I just tell folks, and I tell our young people, just keep producing, just keep trying. And Mosaic, again, our event this year is November the 6th at Celebration North. If they go to mosaicfilmexperience.com, they're able to keep abreast of when we are sending our call for them to submit films. Just go ahead and submit a film, right? Just try. Just go out there, try. And if they can, get their class to attend, just come see us. But submit a film. It's not about it being perfect. The point is, and that's why we actually went from having these fancy cameras in our first 3 years to having from years 4 to present mobile film, mobile cameras, is because the mobile phone is actually where our students really spend a lot of their time. So just try it.
And you guys are still probably in the beginning stages of your careers, maybe going further into the filmmaking process. I mean, are you guys working on anything now, or maybe there's a bigger goal out there that the two of you maybe share?
Okay.
You want to mention the thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Currently, we're working on another short film just for fun. This one's more of a medium film, going for a little bit of a longer length. Daniel is helping me out with it. I'm directing it. He's one of the main actors in it, and we're doing one for fun because it's nice to have no film contest or film project or school project restrictions on it, just to see what we can do with stuff we have available.
Do you want to mention what it's based on?
It's based on albums and songs that I've created and published on Spotify. Oh,
awesome. Well, no, that sounds like a good time, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how your careers kind of go further. And we'd love to, possibly learn a little bit more. Maybe when that film is getting closer to finishing up, that'd be great.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, Caleb, Daniel, thank you both so much for joining us today. We really do appreciate it. And one last time, congratulations on winning.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And I want to give yet another thanks to Daniel and Caleb for stopping by and explaining a little bit more about their film Apples. And also thanks to Skot for talking a little bit more about the Mosaic Film Experience. Again, if you want to see more on this interview, you can check it out right now over on our website, woodtv.com.